Hello everybody, I've got another video for you today. I'm sorry I didn't get the video uploaded yesterday like I wanted, but after I got off my night shift at work it was really late, and unfortunately I got a caffeine headache because I hadn't realized that a soda I'd been drinking the last couple of days had caffeine in it, and I suffer from migraines, and if you don't know, migraines plus caffeine do not mix well because once you stop drinking the caffeine you get hit with a very monstrous headache. It was so bad, it tormented me throughout the whole night, and it was pretty awful. Anyhow, so in return for your patience and for me messing up in that way, I'm going to get a double upload for you. This will be the first one. I promised I'd give you some updates after I played Ghostface for a little bit, and I wanted to show off this build, because this build is actually kind of interesting. I like it a lot. So of course we got the standard Hex Ruin and Barbecue for blood points and slowing the game down, obviously. But then we have Pop Goes the Weasel, newly buffed from the chapter patch. It now lasts 60 seconds at tier 3 instead of 30 seconds, and it starts at 40 seconds at tier 1, 50 seconds at tier 2, and 60 at tier 3, and it's 25% total regression at all tiers. It's fantastic, very nice quality of life change. But then there's this one, Thrilling Tremors. Now, I wasn't sure what to think of this perk at first, and I don't have it maxed out yet, so I'm not even able to utilize its full potential. But if you combine this with this, you pick up the Survivor, you know which gens are being worked on. So while the other gens are blocked, you go to the gens that aren't being worked on. So if you don't see any auras with this, you can rely on this to know what generators they're on, and you can use this to slow the game down a lot more. I've been enjoying it's like I said, I haven't maximized this build, so I don't know exactly how good it'll be, but I see a lot of potential for this. Before I was using Surveillance, but you know, I feel like this would be the better option just because it's because even though Surveillance has some good defensive measures mid-game, this right here, as long as you manage to keep up decent momentum, can slow the game down quite a bit, and plus help you find a survivor at the same time. Good way of keeping the pressure up. So I would recommend you give this build a try if you have the perks. So I'm gonna bump up my add-ons because I've been using these crappy add-ons, but I'm facing, you know, I've been having some slightly more sweaty survivors lately. So I'm gonna go with this, and what are we thinking? Stalking, that's crap. Crouching, maybe. Moderately increases duration of Killer Instinct. Movement speed while stalking is still crap. You know what, I'll just go with Olsen's address book, just for the video. I want to save up on some of his better add-ons, just so I have some for later, whenever his build is complete. So, I'm going to go into a game, and let's see how this build works with these better add-ons. I'll tell you what, there has been a serious flame war over Ghostface. And it seems like a lot. This is another Plague / Freddy situation where the people are demanding nerfs on him, or some anyway, a minute group, that, while at the same time they don't seem to even understand how his power works or even how to counterplay him. They're not even attempting to try. They're just demanding nerfs off the bat, even though he's not nurse tier, so I don't understand why a nerf would even be necessary unless he's nurse tier. It's weird. Anyway. So, but also on that front, on the other side, we have dozens of comments on every YouTube video, on every fucking Twitter page about Ghostface, talking about how, you know, people are begging like him not to be nerfed. And it's like, I agree. As long as they don't increase, I would be willing to tolerate the other changes just for the quality of life, as long as they don't increase how wide his radius is to be revealed, because I still don't trust the devs to put that in a way where it's fair to the killer. Because I'll be honest, I wholeheartedly believe that they will nerf this killer to being weak in a second and won't bat an eye over it. I mean, they did it to Plague, and look at this. We're the next chapter later. She still has not been updated. They have barely said anything on her, even though they claim that they wanted to make sure she's fun for both sides. But it's obviously not the case because they haven't even mentioned her since then. That's why I don't want him nerfed, because I know if they push him too far, nothing will get done about him for I don't even know how long. If ever. I mean, it's just not something I want to take to chance. Especially when he doesn't need a nerf in the first place. But, you know, these comments about that I'm talking about, hundreds upon hundreds of likes on both Twitter and YouTube. That is insane. Like, I haven't seen this much support for a killer since Legion's nerf, and even then, I think Ghostface has way more support, because I think it's because he's a really iconic killer, and I think they want a, I think people are fed up, like I am, with the licensed killers not being very good, and that's why I'm not a big fan of them. But, if they could, like, set a precedent here, then it could mean good things for, like, Freddy with his buff. Like, it could mean that Freddy could potentially become a decent killer too, and, you know, it could stop the cycle of trash tier, you know, licensed killers. And more people would be willing to buy said character if they were good, if the character was fun and good to play. You know, that's just my thoughts on the situation. What about you guys? What do you think? Because, I mean, I've played plenty of games as and against Ghostface, and most of the time I have no problem. Like, I've already figured out some really good strategies, and unfortunately Survive with Friends have already figured out that if you all bum rush Ghostface at the same time, he can't stop you from breaking him out of his power, and it's just a really bad day for him. So, not the biggest fan of that whole idea, but you know what, if I would, as much as it would suck, as long as they're not going to nerf him, I would tolerate that being in. One thing I do want addressed, though, is Object of Obsession, and maybe, you know, Spine Chill. At least Object of Obsession, because Object of Obsession at the current moment is the most busted perk you can run against him, because it's 24/7 aura reading for free, and I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's not fair in the slightest, because killers would never get a benefit that strong. There's always a counter to killer aura reading, and I just don't agree that survivors should have the ability to have infinite aura read on a killer regardless of what their power is. It's not fair, because a killer able to see you through walls is useful, but if both can see each other through walls, the survivor has the advantage, because that eliminates all chances of really any big mind games. Especially at, like, jungle gyms. Jungle gyms become basically 100% safe. So, I think that needs to be addressed, and I hope they address that soon. And also, another thing I really want to bring attention to is the bug with Wake Up. Apparently, right now, Wake Up affects all action speeds on everything, and not just opening exit doors. That is incredibly broken and a massive exploit, and it needs to be fixed pronto. How did he see me? Damn it, he knows. He knows about Ghostface and his weaknesses, unfortunately. But what he doesn't know is I'm ready. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing you could do to counter Ghostface. You get the hide advantage on him, he can't hide. I mean, as you saw, I tried to hide away from his vision, and he still got me. So imagine how much worse it'll be when it has more vision. Luckily, he doesn't appear to be all that good. But he certainly knows his strategies. He just didn't have a very good route planned. He's not even attempting to wiggle out either. Wonder what that's about. But yeah, as you can see, the build is working decently. So there's 2 survivors over there, so let me just kick this gen real quick. Regress that back to Zippo. Probably shouldn't do that so close to him, but that's just what happens. Da, 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 da. Ooh, can I see him from here? I can. He. Here we go. Now we just move in. Yeah, that is what you don't do. You don't play chicken with Ghostface. Not if he's confident enough to stalk you right up front, because that means he's probably accumulated a bit of stock on you and he's moving in for the kill. So that is what you don't do. Alright, as you can see, they're making it pretty easy for me at the moment because they are not playing very smart. They're leaving themselves wide open with no escape plan. And they're trying to play chicken with Ghostface. Alright, there's that guy. I'm gonna try to go this way. Don't know if he missed a skill check or what, but he's booking it. I don't know where he is. Don't break my stock, please. There he is. Now I got him. Doesn't matter if you break me out now, pal. Alright, the gens are covered. Which gen is not covered? Are all the gens covered? No way. Wow. They're legit not doing gens. Well, makes it easier for me to start moving on for the pressure. But as you can see, this build can get really nasty when it gets going. Oh. Nope. You don't play chicken. You don't play chicken. That is not how you do that. That is just going to get you killed. Wow, he let himself go? Well, that sucks for his team. As you can see, I've gotten a bit better at playing Ghostface. Playing a tad bit more passively just to keep things fresh. Keep things where I can keep my stock meter up. Having the better perks definitely helps a lot. Alright, we got another gen over here we can kick. They're going to go for the save any second. So I'm going to go up for the high ground and try to get some stock on her rescuer. Anyone around here? No one on that gen. Yeah, I let him have that one. Oh, what? Oh, that's actually cool. I didn't know they did that. Yeah, that's not a safe pallet. That is a very unsafe pallet. Alright, so he's running up here. There's a god pallet up here, so he's probably going to make it to that and slam that down on my face. No, he's going to run over here, thinking he's safe over here. But I know how to play that. Alright, got the gens blocked back up. Alright, looks like the gens are not being worked on right now. I might not make it to the hook because I waited a bit too long on that. It's going to be close. Alright, we're good. These guys are not prioritizing their gens properly. And they're not doing very well in the chase either. They're like, that guy should have gone for the god pallet. He could have bought so much more time for his team if he had just done that. Someone was healing over here. I see you, Katie. I see you. Alright, built up a good amount of stock on her. Now, if I do this properly, I can counter-rotate. Or at bare minimum, at the next time I see her, I have a good amount of stock built up on her. Aha, so there she is. She thinks she's going to break my stock. But what she doesn't know is I've already built up enough stock to where I can take her out if I get close. So she needs to take the safest route she can, just to be on the... Oh, she did not do that. Oh, how did I miss? Aw. Wait, she didn't go for the pallet? Oh, that's greedy. That was greedy. I should have not got her on that, but she got greedy. Dude, every time I pick someone up, the gens are all blocked. Like, they're not doing the gens. What do they expect to happen? You can't win if you don't play the objective. Someone can see me. But where? You also should try to stay in cover as much as possible so you can duck out if someone tries to break you out of your power. Otherwise, what'll happen is exactly what happened at the start of the game. Dude goes on the hill, and all of a sudden you're sitting there with no power, just pissing in the wind. There's a failed skill check here. Oh. That was her healing, I assume. Alright. Build up a little stock. Alright, counter rotate here. Built that up. Now, see, so the thing I found the best way to counter Ghostface is to try to find the safest window or pallet you can, and then once you get him there, or you could do that if you got good camera aim. But she waited way too late to do that. If she did that earlier, she would have been good to go. Alright, that gen's gonna get done. Nope, never mind, they chickened out. Now I get to wear that gen down. But that means someone was here right as I picked her up, so they are still here. Or at least around here somewhere. So it needs to happen. Wait, did they tap it? No, they didn't tap it. That was weird. Okay, you know what? I'll just leave this gen for the moment. I'm not too worried. There are 5 gens left. This has been a really good game. These guys are not very good. They have been trying too hard to break me out of stealth in the middle of chase. But actually what they need to be doing is they need to wait until they get to like a safe pallet and then peeking behind it, or waiting till I don't know they're there, and peeking behind a item that I can't see them behind, and use their camera to peek over it and look at me. Because I'll have only a rough estimate as to where they are, but I won't know exactly. But on the other hand, they'll be able to see me, and they'll know exactly how close they are to breaking my power. So that's something that you need to keep in mind when you're facing off against Ghostface. It's the very important part of his counterplay that people don't seem to quite get yet. Because if you get to a safe pallet or something, you can force him to break a pallet, and if he breaks a pallet, you get to break him out of his power for free. Like, there's no competition, there's no peeking contest, there's no having to worry about any of that nonsense. You get him for free. He's done. He's over. Yeah, you see that 99 stock? That's right. That's how you do it right there. Alright, so he's gonna vault that. Oh. Wait. Oh, got him. Oh, that was close. That was close. That was actually pretty decent. If he and his teammate had, if his teammate hadn't chickened out a little bit, I think they would have got me for sure. But you see, they're trying to win the staring contest. Now, while the survivors do have the advantage over Ghostface, a good Ghostface player is going to take cover, and they're going to peek in and out of cover, because they can stalk you little bits at a time. You have to do it all in one sitting. Even though yours is significantly shorter. So, you know, once again, something very important to keep in mind when you're trying to do this. With Ghostface as your opponent, always have an escape plan, just like if you're facing off against a Wraith or a Myers. I mean, shit, as a general rule, when I play Survivor, I always look for the safe spot to start, and I'm always aware of what's going on around me. Because if I'm not, I get screwed. because a Wraith will sneak right up on me and get a free hit, or Myers will yank me off a gen, which it's happened. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you're forgetful, but you always gotta be ready. Otherwise, that will happen to you. Ah, wow. And she gets away anyway. Dude, is she using Wake Up? No way she's not using Wake Up. That door opened stupid fast. I mean, she must have been on the door in a second. If not. But still, I didn't even pit for that. They didn't do good enough, and guy killed himself on the hook, I get. Blue rank, a red rank survivor, wow. No Wake Up. I guess she was just right next to the door when it happened. GG to that guy. He's certain. I mean, look at this purple flashlight. Jeez, these survivor friends. That has to be, man. I shouldn't be facing a rank 2 right now. And now what are they going to do? BM me or something? Looks like I just got some mail. So I'll read that in a minute. Anyhow, in conclusion, as you can see, Ghostface is not really... but yeah, it's... Sorry, I lost my train of thought because the guy sent me a message. I was reading it. But yeah, Ghostface definitely has some decent counterplay to him, but you have to be smarter than the average bear. You gotta think about what you're doing. And it's just, you gotta try, man, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought right now because I'm so focused on what that guy is messaging me about. He's actually not BMing or anything. He's actually saying GG, and he wanted to talk about the killer a little bit, so I'll talk to him about that in a second. But, yeah. It's the rank 2 guy, by the way. So, I don't think Ghostface is OP by any means. He just requires you to know when the right time to break him out of stock is. If he's got you marked, don't attempt to break him out of stock. Just don't. It ain't worth it, because you go down if he gets you. Plain and simple. You should if you have him breaking a pallet and you have an extra moment while you're running away, okay, maybe try it. But if he's got you marked, just try to wear out the timer as best you can. That's what. And if you have and if you're not the one he's chasing, try to help your buddy out. Or if you see him just creeping around, just try to stalk him, and that'll at least slow him down because he'll be trying to find whoever's trying to break him out of his stock. Just remember, if you break him out of his stock, be ready for a chase, because he's probably going to go for you, because obviously you're the one who broke him out of stock, so he gets to know where you are, so he may as well chase you because it's a guaranteed chase at the least. I guess this is kind of like a tips video, and more like, instead of like an update video like I was intending, but you know, I just wanted to clear up some of the cloudiness around Ghostface, because a lot of people seem to have no idea how he actually works. But anyway, I'll be uploading the video I promised you yesterday very shortly, and I better get working on that now. Thanks. Bye, everyone.